Hello, and welcome to this Pet Fixers online volunteer training. My name is Brandon Mustful. I'm the Executive Director of Great River Rescue, which runs the Pet Fixers program, and I'll be taking you through this training today. Thank you so much for your willingness to volunteer with Pet Fixers. Pet Fixers is a low-cost spay-neuter program for qualified low-income pet owners and caretakers. The program was established in 2012, and since then there have been over 5,000 animals spayed and neutered. We rely heavily on volunteers to help keep costs low to the community. Some of our general guidelines: volunteers must have completed a Great River Rescue volunteer application, and there is a $15 application fee. Volunteers must have viewed this Pet Fixers training video. Volunteers will be using VicNet to schedule shifts or sign up for shifts and track their volunteer hours. And volunteers must adhere to all Great River Rescue policies and procedures. Clinic overview. Clinics are typically held on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. Staff and volunteer hours run from 6:45 in the morning to as late as 6 p.m. in the evening. Lunch is provided for all full-day staff and volunteers. Some typical job roles at Pet Fixers include animal intake, dog weighing, sanitation specialist, animal to owner checkout, vet liaison, and checkout. Some more general guidelines. Animals must be safe to be handled by Pet Fixers staff and volunteers to be eligible to get spayed or neutered. If we know an animal is pregnant, we will not be able to spay it. Pet owners must meet income qualifications to participate. There are no income qualifications for caretakers of feral cats, though. Registration is done online at greatriverrescue.com under the Pet Fixers tab. Dogs should be walked prior to being kenneled and must be on a secure leash. So that's very important that when clients come with their dogs that they should take them on a short walk before we bring them inside and put them in their kennel. Otherwise, we will be cleaning up a lot of poop in their kennels. Cats must always be in a safe and secure carrier. The dog check-in time is between 7 and 8 in the morning. Cat check-in time is between 8 and 9 in the morning. And clients are called when their pet is ready to be picked up. Clients will always ask what time their animal will be ready to go home. And unfortunately, we just can't give them a direct answer. It depends on so many factors, the order in which the vets do surgeries and how the animals respond to anesthesia and the reversal medication. So we really don't give a time. We tell people that we will just call them when the animal is ready to be picked up. Some things about setup for a clinic if you are helping with any of that. We run a paperless clinic. All documentation is done through our software, Clinic HQ. Prior to the clinic, giveaway or take-home bags should be prepared with educational materials, small gifts, and other important information. Volunteers should sign in on VicTouch. Cold water and other beverages should be made available. The weigh-in scale must be placed in a convenient spot for dog weigh-in. Tables should be set up in the warehouse for cleaning and sanitation of equipment. Tables should also be set up in the lobby for food and snacks and the take-home bags. Enough dog kennels, wire kennels need to be prepared for the number and size of dogs coming, and labels and tags with pet names need to be prepared. Some more about Clinic HQ. This is the website that we use to manage our program. It helps manage all aspects of the clinic from client registration and payment to recording medical records and creating reports and sending out those medical records. Intake. Clients should be greeted as they pull into the parking lot. Volunteers meet them with an iPad in hand. You verify their phone number and the services requested, and then you make sure and hit the check-in button. You do need to confirm that they have a consent form that is signed. If not, you want the clients to sign that form, and again, that is done on the iPad digitally. You will add any notes for any special circumstances. You want to mark the caution box if an animal is especially anxious. Get help if you don't feel completely confident in bringing an animal in. and you do always want to have an extra lead or leash available to bring a dog in. Bring animals in slowly and cautiously. Please note that the dogs will be nervous. Many of them do not want to go in the building, so you do have to be a little forceful at times. Sometimes you do need help from the clients to be able to bring an animal in. Dogs must be on a secure leash, and cats must be in a secure plastic crate. An appropriate number and size of kennels should be prepared for dogs. We place these kennels really throughout the building in order to house as many dogs as we have coming in. Usually it's about 15 or 16 dogs. There should be 2 colored tags for each dog, one that goes on the dog's kennel and one that goes on the dog's collar. If a dog is not wearing a collar, then we place one on them, or we have sticky paper collars that we can put around their necks. Each kennel needs to have a kennel pad and a slip lead put near the door so that the dog can easily be taken out and handled. Dog handlers must be confident and qualified to handle all types and sizes of dogs. And dogs must be weighed upon intake, and that is ultimately recorded in Clinic HQ. Sometimes we have to record that on a separate sheet of paper before we can get that information into the computer. Cat intake. Cats should always arrive in kennels or carriers. If cats are not in a carrier, we can get a carrier for them that they can borrow for the day. And the cats should be in the plastic crates. The vets don't like the fabric ones or the wire kennels. We do need the plastic crates for them. Cats are brought into the front room of the shelter and labeled with their ID tag. Never attempt to handle a feral cat. Do not put your fingers through its carrier or trap. Do not attempt to move a feral cat from one carrier to another. And you should place blankets or towels over any scared or nervous cats. Other tasks. You should not be assisting veterinary staff during examination unless asked. If a dog is labeled as dangerous, do not open their kennel door or interact with them in any way. You should help clean up after any of the safe dogs that make a mess in their kennel. If asked, assist in getting dogs from the trailer back to their kennel. You may carry smaller dogs. As dogs come out of surgery and they are more awake and alert, walk them in the designated areas. If you notice an animal is licking its surgery site, consult with a lead volunteer or staff on whether or not to fit it with an e-collar. After a dog goes home, remove the kennel pad and clean and disinfect the kennel that the dog was in. Please note that dogs must always be on a lead or a leash when out of a kennel. Sanitation. Pet Fixers uses rescue cleaner and sanitizer. Use the deep clean rescue and cleaning up after pets. Allow 10 minutes of contact time and then rinse thoroughly. Rescue is a great product that we use, and it is very safe for everyone. And we do usually have plenty of rescue bottles around for cleaning up. The cleaning station. The vet uses a surgical pack for every surgery. Used packs need to periodically be brought in and brought to the cleaning station. Specific and detailed instructions are provided for any volunteers helping clean, sanitize, and autoclave the instruments. All instructions must be followed closely. And following the PowerPoint portion of this training, there is a video portion which outlines the process from start to finish of cleaning and sanitizing the surgical instruments. Checkout. Once dogs appear awake and alert, the front desk person should be notified to call the client for pickup. Dogs should be walked once they are awake and alert to allow them to go potty. Cats are ready once they are brought back into the shelter from the trailer. And clients may come into the shelter to pick up their pet. When someone goes to go get their pet for them, another volunteer should go over the post-surgical instructions with them and give the client their take-home bag. Please thank the owner for using the service, and just make sure that they have all the information they need, and check if they have any questions about going home with their pet. One very important piece of information that we tell people is that since we don't have a vet on staff, if they do have any concerns, things that they notice afterward, they have to contact their own veterinarian. They should not be calling us for follow-up. End of day cleanup. There is always a lot to do at the end of the day, and any and all help is appreciated. We should discard all fluids in bins at the sanitation station. Wash and rinse all bins or brushes. Empty the ultrasonic cleaner and rinse that. Check stock of paper and fenestrated drapes. There needs to be at least 10 to 15 of each size of paper drapes. Make sure all dirty laundry is kept in the blue IKEA bags and not on the floor. Wash all towels and bedding in hot water with detergent. Fold clean laundry and place like items for easy stocking. Drapes, gowns, wraps should be kept in a separate laundry basket. Please soak the surgical laundry in detergent and cold water in a tub or bucket for about an hour prior to washing. And fold and wrap surgical gowns for autoclaving. Other cleanup items: on Saturdays, clean and sanitize all kennel areas and set up for the next clinic day. On Sundays, clean and sanitize all kennel areas, then put away kennel pads, tags, e-collars, etc. On Sundays, clean up and put away coolers, food, tables, paperwork, and other items. Take out garbages both days. And check with the Pet Fixers coordinator or staff for any other tasks that need to be done.
The tools come back to us from the trailer out there, and the first thing we do, I usually do anyway, is to inflate. Somewhere here, buried. We take this and just put a little air in here to make sure it's working. We don't overinflate it, but you can see it kind of inflated a little bit. They just want to make sure it works. That air gets in there.
Yeah. Can you do it again?
Yeah. There you go. So that's just it. You don't have to do the whole thing, just enough to make sure it's still working. And then what we do is just put this in the rinse, and then it'll have like saliva or maybe even in this case blood on this end, because that's what goes down the dog's throat. So this is the tube that they use for anesthesia and breathing. Okay, and let's see, there's one more here. And these will just, after they do the surgery, these will just start coming in back here, and it's always fun to try and keep up with it. This one might be a little more, you can see the air working. Okay, so that one's good too. And if it's not good, then I would just set it off to the side and let somebody know. So this is where we clean them, and then it goes in here for 15 minutes. It soaks in the this solution. And all of that information is up here. So it's on there and there. So you can't really go wrong. And then to clean it, we just run a brush down both sides. There are different sized brushes. So we run a brush in there, just because it's got saliva in there from the previous dog. So that's what we're cleaning out. Okay. All right, and then once we've got that cleaned out, we just throw it in the solution here, and it's going to sit in there for 15 minutes. I always try and get it to submerge to make sure it's got all the water in it. So, okay, this one's a little dirtier. We got some blood on this one. And you can feel the saliva on the outside of it. So you want to kind of get that off of there too before it goes in the solution. Okay. Yeah, you can't be squeamish. You get all sorts of things that come back from the vet here and might have body parts on it. It might, you know, from when they've done the surgery. Yesterday I had some tissue on one of the tools. So, okay, those will soak for 15 minutes. And then the ones that are in this metal tray were not used. Okay, so the ones that are in the red dish are the ones that, as you can see, are bloody, and those were the ones that were used. So we're going to take these and we're going to dump them in here, and they're going to soak for a little bit, and then we're going to use a brush and clean those off. And then these baskets just get rinsed. And you can rinse them in the sink, and then they just get stacked up there to dry. And we'll just do one at a time here. So then these that weren't used, anything bloody, we try and, like in here, like there's some blood on this, so we're going to throw this away. If it's still clean, you can still use it. Okay, so we're going to throw that away. This has some blood on it, and the gauze has blood on it, so I'm just going to throw that away. Okay. And the rest of these are good. We can reuse them, and then we have to take this enclave sticker off. When it's got a black mark on it, it means it's already been through the cleaner, the enclave. And we're going to put a new, it's either tan or a gold color, and then after it's been through the enclave, then it turns that black color. That's how you know it has been, I call it cooked. All right, and then the tray is going to come over here. We're going to make up a new label, but for now we're going to put a new paper towel, piece of paper towel in there, and all of this is described on how to set up the pack assembly. It's all right here in the book, so it's not like you have to know what's what. You can follow a guide, and then each one of them gets an enclave. There is redundancy with going through the enclave. So this is a sticker that sits on the bottom, and then again it's that light stripe, but if it goes through the enclave, then it is a black strip like this, and we just use half of it, but it's just a black. Okay, so you can see the difference between the two. Okay, so this one hasn't been through yet, this one has been through yet. Okay, and the same thing will happen with this tape. Alright, so then what I usually do is I get this thing ready to go first. So now we're going to make up a label. PF is Pet Fixers. So I don't know why we have to do that, because that's all we use it for. And then large dog spade. S for spade, dog. And then the color on the band that is on the instruments. Okay, this is just a single gray band, and we can verify that with the, you can see there's the gray band. Okay, so each of them have a different color, and some you'll have multiple bands, 2 bands and 3 bands. Okay, then we do the date. Today is 9/11. And then whoever's preparing its initials, so they know who to blame later. All right, and then we throw the old one away because that was from July and it's been used. And now we're going to clean it, and I just put the new one on there. Okay, so that's that step. All right, so now we've got the bloody instruments. So we are going to scrub them to make sure there's no blood or tissue left on them. Okay, and then they go in. This is a clean and simple. It's a it kind of shakes them and sanitizes them. Okay, so that's gonna go. Make sure there's no blood or anything in there. Okay. And just do that, as you can see. There's some, get these cleaned really good. Get all the blood off. We don't want it to go in the sanitizer.
Hello.
Okay.
Hey.
And that goes in. And we just go through each one of these doing that. Clean them all. Rinse and repeat, or scrub and repeat, whichever one you want to say it. They have the ridges on them, like regular. I go sideways on it to make sure that you get all the blood off of that, because that one was kind of caked on there. Not all of them have that. This one does too. Okay. All right, last one. Lid on it. And again, all this information is here, how to do it. And then we put it on 15 minutes, so between 10 and 20. 10 and 20 on the time there. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to turn that. And let it run, and then when it turns off, then we will put it in the rinse. There's a basket inside here. We just pick up the basket and then dump it, dump the rest of the water out, and then dump all the instruments into the rinse thing. So right now that's all we can do until that's done. I'm going to work on the cover. So we've got the biggest scissors. The gold ones are your bigger ones. The gold, there are 3 of them that have gold handles. Okay, so those are your bigger ones, and then from there you just kind of figure out which ones are size-wise. I do it this way, not everybody does. Some people just have them laid out all over the place. I just find it easier and faster from there to move on. Oh my, so mad. Okay, and then we spray just the scissors. Need the spray, the lubricant. And like I said, since they're stainless steel, they're really not going to rust. So I usually just spray the one side. And then you just start collecting them from small to large. And I usually use the knife with the one the blade goes in to pick them up. And I'll tell you, these bigger kits get challenging. Trying to close them up and keep them on the blade. Okay, so those are ready, and just trying to make sure they don't, because remember they want them open, so when they go in the enclave, they're open. So these are just gray, so that would be this one. Okay, that's green, so this is gray. All right, so they go in there, and you try to lay them out so that they're not sticking up, but they're still on the somethings. See, I told you, this is a challenge, trying to keep them open. We used to close them all, and then we were told they were supposed to be open. Because some of them are... Oh, I see. I missed some. No, they're all there. Oh, sorry. I'm not... There we go. Oh, look at that. Handle. Now we're good. Okay, lay it down. There. And you try and keep the blade in there. All right. That go on the right there. Okay. So that's how it's supposed to go in there. And now we put our 8, because it's the bigger one. We use 8 to cover it. Make sure everything's covered. Okay. Alright, and then we've got the enclave tape on our large sheet, and then, yeah, this is kind of a tight squeeze. Okay, then we take it over and we wrap it up. Wrap it up inside. And that gets stuck here until we're ready for it. Yeah, just like that. You get serenaded in the background. Because it's got that big drape underneath. That's why the big, large drape. Oops, sorry. Okay, flip the last one around. The outside one gets flipped around. Then you bring the whole thing up and over, and you tuck it under the, with leaving a little tag out. Really crisp. Put your tape on to identify what it is. So you just put your tape, what you're doing is just securing it here so it doesn't open up. And you just have to do the one side. And then you put your piece of enclave tape there, and it's ready to go over to the, over here. Okay, we'll just set it up there because 2 trays, normally we try to do 2 at a time. And what you do is on this one, you lift it up, and then you kind of have to let it drop, and you see that it can go in further, and then push, and it'll go down. This one's a little sticky. So you just kind of push it in, let it drop a little bit, push it the rest of the way. And then this one, I don't know why these stopped working, but what we're looking for is packs. So we got P-A-C-K-S, packs. You can see the tool. So choose packs, press, and start. And then it'll do its own thing, and when it's done, it'll shoop, that'll pop up and let you know that it's finished.
Okay.
Okay? We do laundry, a lot of laundry. So these get folded in half. And then they get, so you want the medium on this end. So then they just get accordioned. You just accordion them, and then we fold them up, and they get accordioned again. Can go under. So you try to keep the M, the medium, so we know, here's your small, medium, large, so we know what is each. And then there are, there's the large, medium, and small. So these are already have been washed and folded. Yeah, and these are called drapes. Then
Thank you so much for viewing our Pet Fixers online video training, and thank you again for your desire and willingness to serve with our Pet Fixers program. Please note that this video is a very broad and quick overview of the program. There is still a lot to learn, which you will learn when you come and help out. Do not be shy to ask us any questions you might have. We will help you every step of the way to make sure that you feel like you can help adequately. And again, we just really appreciate your willingness to be here to help spay and neuter these animals and serve this community. It is a big job. We need you, and we really can't say enough about how much we appreciate you. So thank you.